Is it through TikTok or YouTube or both? How are you getting from the content world to the real world, bridging
Yeah.
that to where you get into conversation with them? Because you never know who's on the internet. You don't know if they're a rock star like you or if they are living in the parents' basement, $100,000 in debt like I was at one point. How does the business side work? Because a lot of people understand I can get on there and film content, but how do you get it to where you're actually in the real world doing business?
So there's a couple different ways that I've gotten those buyers and investors. So one avenue is obviously through my TikTok, creating a lot of content. And then on my bio, I have my contact info, right? So obviously I have my phone number, which people have given me calls off of that, but the majority of them have actually gone on to, so if you're familiar with the TikTok profile, right next to kind of like your face, the picture, you have where it shows like your Instagram connected and your YouTube connected. So obviously, since I'm young, a lot of people don't believe that I'm actually real. I've actually had phone calls with people and they're like, "You're actually real." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm real. I can touch myself. I'm real." So what we did was, because I asked them, okay, what was kind of figuring out their client journey at the end of the day. So they would find me on TikTok, right? Because TikTok is one of my more net, like I cast a huge net so that I can reel them in. So it casts, for me, TikTok is more of a wider reach. Sure, it's a disruption based platform. It's not really search based platform just yet. So obviously I know I was going to get a lot of tire kickers, stuff like that, but I wanted to get the eyes on me so that people then would either give me a call from my bio, or they would check out my website, which a lot of them do because I have it all tracked through Tracker. And then I also then will have my YouTube and Instagram connected so that they'll go to my Instagram, they'll see me, they'll see what I do, they'll follow me actually along with my stories, Instagram stories, see what I'm doing on a day-to-day thing. The Instagram for them says it's more of a social proof kind of thing because obviously I'm posting my deals that I'm doing, what I'm doing, everything like that. So Instagram is really for the social proof. And then YouTube is where they then go watch longer form 5-10 minute videos of mine talking more in depth about the specific local market, talking about what's going on, talking about the new constructions. Because obviously I only can get so much in a 30-second video on TikTok. And yes, TikTok has gone to a 10-minute video. I have not explored that option just yet. I'm leaving that up to my YouTube, but a lot of people obviously can't get all that content in 30 seconds. So then they go check out my YouTube. Then they watch me for like, some have watched me for 1 month, some have watched me for 12 months. I have a local police department in Pennsylvania that all watches me, and they've been watching me for about 9 months now. So it's interesting. So that's kind of the journey that a lot of people go on just from me talking to them. So a lot of all of those, like I told you, that's where my biggest listing has come from, which is that $3.5 million one. My biggest sale, which is a little over 2 million, and then now my $1.5 million seller and $1.5 million buyer. Those guys have come from TikTok. All my foreign international buyers and my foreign international investors have all come strictly from YouTube because it's a search-based platform.
Well, see, guys, if you get banned on TikTok, you can get pulled over and get out of it. I'm just kidding. So, police officer.
Right, right.
As you get these leads coming in, because like I've been doing YouTube on and off for seems like forever now. When I talk to people, sometimes they say, I just came across you or I've been following you for years. What do you think as far as like conversion from first point of contact? Do a lot of these people say, hey, I just watched your video yesterday and they reach out to you? Or do you get a lot more of them where it's like, I've been following you now for like a month or 2 months or 3 months, and then they kind of try to reach out? Or do you see it just like all over the map and there's really no pattern to it? Or is there one more than the other?
Yeah, for me, I always thought that it was going to be like based on a lot of the calls that I've had with people, they were like, "Hey, I've been watching you for, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever that may be. We're ready to buy now." But then recently I've had more people are like, like one of my last calls, like a couple days ago, they're like, "Hey, I was just running on the treadmill this morning." They called me at like 7:30 in the morning. They're like, "Hey, I'm running on the treadmill. I just found you on YouTube. I'm looking to build a house in Northport. I have land in Northport, which is just south of Sarasota, and I'm looking to build a house. Can you help me go through that home building process and kind of what a new construction process will look like?" So only recently have I gotten calls that are like, "Hey, I just stumbled across your YouTube today. Now let me give him a call," for example. But most of my buyers have always said like, "Hey, I've been watching you for a few months now, and now we're ready to buy." And then they reach out. But for me, I've seen that the YouTube life cycle, at least for me, has been a lot shorter than TikTok. TikTok is most of them are usually 3 to 9 months out from doing anything. YouTube is a lot shorter for me.
Lots of people try to figure out where they're going to go, which direction they're going to go when they start channels or different platforms, and they try lots of different types of content, different ways of filming it, different messages, different deliveries. What is it that you think is working? Like you probably tried lots of different approaches. like kind of give me an idea of a video that you're filming, how it work. Are you out at the properties? Are you walking around the property? Or you're talking about numbers? Just so I can, or everybody here listening can think about or recreate it. Like what is like the intent of the video as you're filming it? How are you going about this process?
Yeah, so for me, I found a few different things to work the best. So obviously I've done a lot of trial and error over the past several months to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and trying to find that sweet spot combination. Now, I will say that probably every market's going to be a little bit different. So obviously you have to cater towards what your ideal buyer is looking for. But for me, after a lot of trial and error, so at first I started doing just talking about, well, I should first say my most popular videos are going to be your property tours, actually walking through the property, holding up the phone and walking through it, doing it vertical content. And then the other one is going to be doing like using the green screen effect on TikTok, because for me, I can get a lot of information across while I'm still in the office and I don't have to travel anywhere. So I can knock out 30 to 45 different videos in a short amount of time. While doing property tours, I only can do 5 or 6 at a time in a day or whatever that may be. And then the other content is going to be more based towards the local area, what the local area looks like. So I kind of have 3 different content box ideas: property tours, green screen, and then also just showing the local community. But for me, that hybrid method of all 3 of those have done the best, because I've strictly done property tours. Sure, that's great. It grabs a lot of eyeballs because everyone loves a great new construction house. But once again, it doesn't turn those views into leads. And then I've also done straight utilizing the green screen effect, have gone through all that. Sure, I've gotten a lot of people from talking with me, looking at views, stuff like that. But once again, it just wasn't the conversion that I was looking for, how many people that I thought would be reaching out. So then that's when I started going to a hybrid method of doing, okay, let me use the property tours as kind of the top of the funnel to attract people, and then make sure I sprinkle in other videos talking about, showing myself, showing my face, talking about the local real estate market, showing about any news that's happening in the area, showing what the local area actually is in person, what it looks like. And what I've found is, because I've talked to, the people that have reached out to me, and they're like, yeah, I've been watching you for months now. I saw all your property tour videos, but then you all of a sudden started doing, talking about what's happening, showing yourself on the green screen, everything like that. Right. And for me, that's where it came to the realization of, okay, now I'm building the know, like, and trust factor by me actually being on it. But then I'm also showing what kind of properties people can buy here in Sarasota at certain price points. While I'm not in those property tour videos, I'm in the other videos. So I found that nice mix of both property tour videos and me doing the green screen to be really the sweet spot, at least for me, for when I'm talking with people and them already know, liking, and trusting me for this.